Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to an episode of the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I'm your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I absolutely love, that I'm obsessed with, and that is the topic of habits. So currently I'm reading a book called Badass Habits. I'll make sure to drop the link in the show notes if you're interested. And I've read Atomic Habits, Power of Habits, a book about habit stacking, and so many more that I can't even list off. And the reason that I love habits is because they make your life easier once you have built that habit. In the beginning, it is challenging, it is frustrating, it can be a pain in the butt to create a habit. But there are times where we build habits and we don't even realize we're doing it. And then there's times where we are fully focused and we are struggling to complete that habit, to be consistent with it. There's a wide range in there. So we all have habits that we love, that we're like, yeah, I love that this is a habit I've created. We also probably have habits in our life that are, I just wish that I wasn't in the habit of doing that I wasn't doing that on a consistent basis. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But for right now, I want to let you know that you're not alone in having really great habits and habits that you wish you didn't have anymore. Because that's part of life, is we acquire these habits along the way that we may not notice we've picked up on, and we then may learn they're no longer serving us or helping us become the best version of ourselves. One of the habits that I know people talk about is I need to get in the better habit of flossing. I just saw my dentist a little bit ago, and they always are telling me every time I go back, I get a little bit better, but I'm not in the habit of doing that yet. The other thing is, a lot of us bite our nails or bite the skin around our nails. Is that habit something that's actually serving us? Probably not. It's a reaction to something else that's happening. And a lot of us, we want to stop that. We want to get better at flossing. We want to stop biting our nails, things like that. So it's really important to acknowledge that we all have things we love, that we are happy about. There's also things that we always know there's room for improvement because we are human. So as we're getting ready to start creating a new habit, I understand it is hard. It is hard because we have started a habit before and we have failed. We have been unsuccessful. We have not been able to create that habit like we thought. But it's not just about identifying the focus, identifying what that habit is. It's not just that. And a lot of times that's where we stop. As we get in the routine of, okay, I'm going to exercise. And we're just hyper fixated on what the habit is itself, that we forget to create a plan. We forget to track it. We forget to reflect on, is what we're doing actually working or not? And we need to remember to focus on progress and not perfection. Remember, creating a habit is about repeatedly doing the same thing until it becomes second nature. But sometimes we have a bad day. If it comes to eating healthy, let's say, you have this habit of, I'm going to eat 2 vegetables a day, and you go a day without eating any. A lot of times our mindset gets in the way and we just kind of give up. We're like, oh, okay. Well, did you have 1 vegetable? No, that's okay. Okay, you had 0 vegetables. When are we going to start? We're going to restart tomorrow. Okay, your intention is to get your 2 vegetables in. What is your action plan? How is that going to happen? Well, I'm traveling. Okay, how are you going to be intentional to make sure you can get those 2 vegetables in while you are traveling? Creating a plan is super important, because a goal without a plan is just a dream. We have no way to get there. So creating that plan is super important, as well as identifying just one habit that we are focusing on. The other thing we tend to do is take on way too many things. We try to fix way too many things about ourselves. We don't need to fix things. Our goal of changing habits in our life is to allow us to become the best versions of ourselves that we want to be, that we're creating that future you now. If at 90, I want to not be on medication, that I want to make sure I'm eating a healthy, balanced diet, that I am exercising and moving my body, that I have the least amount of joint pain as possible. The things now need to start happening. I don't wait till I hit 90 and then start implementing those habits. We start doing things now to make it happen. So, as we start thinking about this, you may have thought some of these other feelings, because I know I have. I get frustrated with myself sometimes, even now when I create habits. It's a natural feeling. But have we ever thought, I just wish I could stop blank and put something in there? I wish I could just stop biting my nails. I wish I could just stop skipping my workouts. I wish I could just stop going for the sweets after dinner. We've all said something like that. Or have we said something or thought, why can't I just seem to do blank? It's so easy. Why can't I just seem to eat healthy? It's so easy. And everybody else is doing it. Why can't I? Why can't I just seem to cut out sweets? Why can't I just seem to get my workouts in? Life gets in the way. And a lot of times we don't have a plan. We just have this, I'm going to do the thing. A plan is necessary. Or even, it's really not that hard to exercise. I just need to be more disciplined, more motivated, more strict on myself. It's not that hard to eat healthy. Just need to be more disciplined. How many times have we said that? Like, I know that feeling. We get internal with it and we start to talk about, I can't do that, or I just need to be better. I need to be more motivated, more strict, more disciplined. I need to be this. You don't need to be anything. What you need is a better action plan. And you need to plan for life's curveballs. So often we don't plan for those, which everybody listening, at some point in your life, you should know life doesn't go according to plan. You can say, today is going to be the perfect day. I have it all mapped out in my calendar, but all of a sudden somebody could wake up sick. The dog could have thrown up on the carpet and now you're 25 minutes late to work. Like, life happens. You have to plan for the unexpected and you have to plan for the unknowns, which takes work, which is part of the reason why we don't do it, is we just get caught in, I'm going to drink more water, and we focus on that and we forget the action. I've been there. I've been there myself, and I still get caught up in it when I notice I'm taking on too big of a habit. I'm not breaking it down small enough, or I'm trying to change a habit that is really big and I know will be impactful in my life, like biting my nails. I do that subconsciously. I don't do it near as much as I used to, but I still do it. Okay, I know if I go cold turkey, it's not the best way for me. That's not the best way for any of us. And we've talked about it in our previous episodes. Like, it's not an all or nothing approach. It's about showing up for yourself and doing small actions every day to build that habit, micro habits. So today, my goal is for you to walk away feeling confident and empowered to take on one habit and have an action plan and be able to move through that mind block of, I just need to be more disciplined, or I just need to be more motivated, or I just need to be more strict. I want you to walk away feeling empowered and that you can go conquer this habit for the next 30 days. And if you have a bad day where it doesn't go according to plan, you give yourself grace and you acknowledge the progress that is happening and that it's okay that you weren't perfect. None of us are perfect. So this is the time where if you have a notebook or you have the notes section on your phone and you are able to pull it out, I highly recommend grabbing it because it's a fun exercise to do when you can actually write it down. If you're in a position where you can't actually write down and move through this exercise, I want you to mentally ask yourself these questions. So for today's exercise, I just ran this a few weeks ago and I've added a few more pieces and I've done some more research from a few different books that I've been reading. And I love this because it helps us identify a few different things. So number 1, I want you to title this first list, List 1. And I want you to write down all the habits that you are currently doing that are serving you. So, that are serving your current self, that are also serving that future self. Things related to health and wellness, things that make you feel good. And I'm going to give some examples, but this is going to be all the habits that you are doing right now. So for instance, this can look like you're brushing your teeth. You're flossing. You're drinking water. You're eating vegetables. You're eating fruits. You're eating protein. You're getting exercise. You're strength training. You're stretching. You're getting good sleep, or you're just getting sleep. Maybe that's a habit, is you are not getting sleep and you are now getting sleep. You're not on your phone as much as you used to be. Think about some of those habits that you are doing that are serving you now and that future self of you. Do you have at least a couple that you've come up with? Maybe they're the ones I mentioned. Maybe they're different ones. Okay. So now, before we move on, I want you to pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself because you can create habits. You can do it. That list you just created is proof. It is proof that you can create habits that serve your current and your future self. So give yourself a pat on the back, clap for yourself, whatever it is. Acknowledge that you can create habits. That's awesome. We get caught and we can't do it. You can do it. That is proof right there. So at any time you feel like you can't do something, you can't create that new habit, go back to this first list and let this list continue to grow as things happen in life. As you take on new habits and you get consistent with them, put them on that list. Keep adding to that because you are so powerful and you are able to create habits. And we got to get our mind stopping thinking that we can't because you can. There's proof right there. And if you came up with nothing, I need you to go to the show notes and send me a message right now. Send me an email and say, I have no habits, because I can guarantee you have habits, but we're in a mind block and I want to get you through that. So that was list 1. That is our feeling good, we're feeling empowered, let's move forward list. Are we ready? List 2. This is the list of things in your life that aren't really serving you, that aren't helping you become that best future version of yourself that you want to be. This can look like things that I don't like the word bad habit, just like I don't like the word bad food, because they're not bad. They're just habits that are no longer serving us. So this can look like if you are a smoker, you know the cigarettes don't help you. So are you a smoker? Are you excessively using alcohol? Are you spending too much time on social media? Is that serving you? Are you not sleeping? Are you just getting too much screen time? Are you biting your nails? Are you not brushing your teeth or flossing? Are you eating out all the time? Do you have sugar with every meal? Sugar causes inflammation. It's not bad, and there's a way to balance it. But are you doing some of these things in excess? And you want to limit them or completely eliminate them because you know they're not going to serve your current or your future self. So remember, this list is not meant to make you feel bad about these habits. I've got things on this list. We all have things on this list because it's natural for us to kind of just pick up on something and start doing something and not realizing that it's become a habit. This list is meant for you to acknowledge that there are things in your life that are not serving you, and that's okay. And that when you are ready, you will put the time and the energy into starting to limit the amount in which that habit comes into your life or completely eliminating that habit. That's on you. This list is just meant for you to create an awareness around this. It's an eye-opener. And visually writing it down and seeing it in your notes section on your phone or on that piece of paper is really helpful. So now list 3. So we've had list 1 where we're congratulating ourselves. List 2 where we're just creating that awareness of those things that don't serve us in our life. List 3, I want you to create a list of habits that you'd like to refine. So this is kind of where you're going to go back to number 1. And you're going to say, well, I'm in the habit of drinking water. My habit is 50 ounces. Hey, I want to get in the habit of drinking 90 ounces. So are there any habits that you are currently doing that you'd like to refine, whether that is increasing water, whether that's I'm doing 1 strength training workout a week, but I'd like to get up to 3, if that's I'm walking 5,000 steps a day, but I'd like to get to 7. Like, are there any of those current habits that you have that you just would like to refine and get a little bit better at? Make that list, because there's always room for improvement in our life. We can always improve. Even though when we're doing the most amazing things, we can still get a little bit better. We can still get a little bit better. Maybe it's you're eating 1 vegetable a day and your goal is to eat 2. Things like that. Nothing crazy, just trying to refine some of those habits that you already have. Take them to that next level. Okay, we've got one more list to make. This final list is I want you to put on anything on this list that you have tried to make a habit of and you have been unsuccessful in the past. So maybe exercising has been nowhere on your list, on any of your lists. And you know you have tried so many times to find an exercise routine that works for you and you just have not done it. That goes on this list. Maybe you've tried so hard to lose weight and you know to lose weight, you have to eat vegetables and you just cannot do it. You've been unsuccessful. You felt like a failure, all of that. That goes on this list. Anything you've tried and you've not accomplished goes on this list. Because the reason, like I mentioned in the beginning, that we probably were not successful is we didn't have the right action plan. Or we just maybe didn't have an action plan. Doesn't even mean the right one. Maybe it just was no action plan. So put some stuff on that list. Mentally, physically, whatever that looks like for you right now. So we've created 4 lists today. The next part of this exercise is to look at lists 2, 3, and 4. And I want you to look over those or think back to them if you were just thinking. And I want you to pick one habit from any of those lists, not one from each of those lists, one from any of those lists that you want to focus on for the next 30 days. I don't care what list it comes from. It can be a refinement. It can be a habit that you have not been successful with, or it can be a habit that's no longer serving you. Does not matter which list you choose from. But I want you to pick one habit. Do you know what it is? Write it down. Send yourself a text. Send your partner a text. Send somebody a message. Say, this is my habit focus for the next 30 days. Call your shot. Another good place to do this, and I highly recommend, is going into our Busy Moms community. It's in the show notes. Go in there, call your shot. Say, this is my habit for the next 30 days. The next part of this, like I said, is your action plan. So I need you to take a few minutes to think about if your goal is to, I always go to water because I feel like it's just really easy for me to come up with an example, but I'll give more. If your goal is to drink more water, it's to refine. Whether it's to refine or start drinking water. What I want you to do is say, well, why am I not drinking water? I'm not drinking water because I don't have a good plan for it to be accessible. Okay, get yourself a reusable water bottle. Fill it up the night before. Put it on the counter. As soon as you wake up in the morning, start drinking it. Okay, well, Morgan, what happens if I don't have access? If I leave the house without it? Great. Your backup plan is to run to a gas station and grab a liter water bottle. Get yourself a big water bottle. Refill it when you have the chance. Well, I'm on a road trip. Now what? Okay, grab gallons of water or water bottles. Keep them in the back of the car. Okay, well, I'm on the plane. Okay, take your reusable water bottle to the airport. Fill it up at a water station. Think through all of the things that could be a roadblock. Come up with solutions so that when you say, today, I'm hitting my water goal. I'm hitting my water goal of 30 ounces. Awesome. I have all of my solutions in place for when those roadblocks show up. If while you are completing this, as you're going through life, you come up with a new roadblock and you don't have a solution for it, just pause. Acknowledge that you did not come up with a solution and come up with a solution for the future. Because if it's come up once, it's going to come up again at some point. This comes back to vegetables as well. You want to be eating 2 servings of vegetables a day. Awesome. Well, what vegetables do we have on hand? I don't keep vegetables at home. Okay. We need to make sure that we have vegetables at home. Whether they're frozen or fresh or canned, I'll take whatever in the beginning. Okay, great. Well, what if I'm on the road? Okay, I'm gone all day. I'm traveling. Okay, can I swing into a gas station and get a veggie tray? Or can I swing in and grab a salad? Or I'm out to dinner with colleagues. Can I get steamed broccoli or their seasonal or their vegetable of the day? Can I get one of those with dinner? Absolutely, you can. takes intentionality. It takes something from you to show up and say, I'm not going to choose the fries today. I'm really focusing on getting my vegetables in. I'm going to choose the steamed broccoli. It's not always the fun choice. Creating habits is not always fun and the thing that is shiny. Typically, it's not. But it's all about prioritizing. And if that is the type of person you want to be and the type of person that wants to show up, that says and does what they say they're going to do, then you have to be intentional. But also, if you are unsuccessful, if you go out to dinner and you are really just craving those fries with that burger and you don't get that vegetable in, acknowledge that that has happened. Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge that that is a choice you've made and start tomorrow. You got it. It's not that big of a deal. There's no reason to shame ourselves, no reason to put all of this guilt on ourselves. No. Okay, I didn't do it. Tomorrow, it is going to happen. Here is how it's going to happen. Create that plan, even for the next day. It doesn't even have to be your end-all plan. Literally create a plan the night before for your next day. We talked about in one of our earlier episodes the importance of planning tomorrow today. The more we can be prepared for the next day, the easier life will be. We can plan for those curveballs. So, now that we've talked about habits today, what habit are you choosing to focus on for the next 30 days? And note that I didn't say 21 days because it takes more than 21 days for a habit to be formed. It takes closer to 60 days. Well, 60 days is a long time to focus on something. I understand that. If I told you were going to focus on eating vegetables for 60 days, you would probably think it was the most daunting thing. That's 2 months, give or take. So instead, we're just going to focus on 30 days. Once you hit that 30 days, if it's a habit, if you feel like you're doing it second nature, then you can take on a different habit. But if you're still having to be really intentional every day, try for another 10 days. Then how does it feel? Then another 10. Then another 10. Slowly just check in with yourself. Remember, we figure out what the habit is. We pick one. We create that action plan. Next thing is tracking. You got to remember to track your progress, whether that is pen and paper on a calendar. Every day you do the thing, you put a smiley face. Every day you don't, you put an X. Start to see what is happening. Every week, do a quick evaluation of, okay, how many days did I miss? Why were those days missed? Okay, I blank, blank, blank happened. Okay, how can I plan that for this week? Great, move forward. Celebrate the progress that you've made. You may not have done it all 7 days, but did you do it 3 days? Awesome. Before you were doing it 0. Maybe it was just 1 day you did it. You did it 0 before. There is progress there. It may not be big, flashy, and shiny, but there is progress. You are doing awesome. So the last little part of today, as I'm going to remind you, is to go check out our community. It's in the show notes. Jump in there, do a post, call your shot, say, I am focusing on blank for the next 30 days. I am going to personally reach out and ask you what your action plan is. I'm going to poke a few holes in it and say, well, have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? So that you can be successful for the next 30 days. If you have any questions at all, you can always send me a message. My email is in the show notes. You can reach out to me there. But you got this. If you ever feel like you don't have it, go back to list number 1. Go look at all of the habits that you have created, that you are doing daily, whether you know it or not. You got it. Until next time, have a great day. Crush those habits. Call your shot in the Facebook group. You got this. I'll see you later. Thank you for tuning in to the EmpowerHer Wellness podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.